We've heard about the border, the border, the border. And here we are, and yet we're not being solutions-oriented. It's hyperbole and lies. And I want to be clear, and we've heard this time and time and again, and I'll say it again. The situation deserves this committee's attention because there is a crisis at the border. But the crisis is not a criminal one. It's a humanitarian one. And it's an important fact to keep in mind. I appreciate y'all's work, and I yield back to balance of my time.
Here, we're going to go really fast, a lot of stuff to cover. Going back for the past 12 years, border encounters, 2010, 447,000, 2011, 327,000, 2012, 356,000, 2013, 414,000, 2015, 331,000, 16, 408,000, 17, 303,000, 18, 396,000, 2019, 851,000, 2020, 400,000, 2021, 1.6 million, 2022, 2.2 million. There was somebody who became president of the United States in January of 21. And on January 20, 2021, this gentleman actually got rid of the Migrant Protection Protocols, the MPP program. He stopped border wall funding. He actually gutted the interior enforcement against illegal aliens. He put a 100-day moratorium to study border security protocols. In your opinions, you've done this job, both of you, for quite some time, and we thank you for your service. But in your opinion, do you believe these policy changes actually led to the drastic increases in border encounters at the southern border?
Thank you, sir, for the question, and I will try to go fast. What I can tell you in 27 years is that migration is very complicated. There are push and pull factors. The thing I can tell you that goes to the spike that you're talking about is in the Tucson sector, interviewing people post-arrest, what became the most common response was that they believed that when the administration changed, that the law changed and policy changed and that there was an open border.
Chief, I'm glad you said that because, ladies and gentlemen, the law did not change. Joe Biden decided not to follow the law. I've actually been, Chief Chavez, I've been in your section. I was that member that went to that bus that's run by HHS that was taking migrant children out of your holding facilities, and they were taking them to unmarked hotels somewhere along the southern border, which, by the way, is a no-bid contract to some for-profit company from the Department of HHS to some for-profit company. What we see in the Yuma section are the drug cartels get fake IDs for the migrants that they are trafficking through our southern border, and they tell the migrants to drop the fake IDs before they meet up with our border agents. Chief Chavez, why would the drug cartels tell the migrants they are trafficking to drop their IDs before they engage our agents?
Because they do that so that way there's no identification on them and that we're not able to identify them and they can be who they are, whoever they want to be at the time that we identify them at processing.
Chief Chavez, got a second question for you. When I was in, not your section, I was in Yuma section, one of the things that we found were empty capsules of Plan B, empty capsules of birth control. It's been said in this hearing that this is not a criminal process or a criminal issue. This is a humanitarian issue. Are there young girls who are being raped in the journey to the southern border?
There are cases where we have debriefed many of the young ladies, migrants that have come into our custody at our central processing centers that have said that they've been abused.
So we have young girls who are being raped in the journey to our southern border to be trafficked into the United States. We know the drug cartels charge anywhere from $5,000 to $50,000 per person to come into the southern border. And we know that starting January 20, 2021, we had a 4-fold increase in encounters with border agents. Chief Modlin, Chief Chavez, do you think the criteria of policy shifts have created a larger humanitarian crisis where young girls are now raped by smugglers or by the drug cartel in the path to our southern border?
Sir, thanks for the question. What I can tell you is, in my experience, there has always been violence against migrants as they make these trips. I don't know that I could say that a policy has increased the violence against the migrants making that trip to the United States.
Well, I got 20 seconds, so I'm going to reclaim, and that's not against you. I would argue that if you have wholesale policy changes, which lead to a fourfold increase in encounters, what you also are doing is having a fourfold increase in sexual assaults of young girls going to our southern border. Quick point, Mr. Chairman, it was said earlier about the last piece of immigration reform done by Congress was by Ronald Reagan and the Congress at that time in 1986. That was the last time it was done. Here are the facts of what actually happened. Ronald Reagan, in good faith, signed a comprehensive immigration reform plan. And part of that plan was enhanced border security and border wall funding. And congressional Democrats did not continue with the funding apparatuses in future budgets. So they reneged on their side of the deal, which is why a lot of Republicans today don't want to do comprehensive immigration reform. We want to see the border secured consistently. And then at that point, we can go through the different pieces of immigration policy so we can have a full and complete immigration system to make sure America succeeds in the future. Sorry, Mr. Chairman, I yield back.